Okay. James, what's up?
Hey Bruce. First of all, I'm kind of excited, super new to all this, and so just like the stuff in the probate mastery course, it's working. I was like, wow. Changing my techniques, on the phone, and going back to different mastermind calls, and targeting people out of state, and a hat tip to Dave Pennell, and just all this stuff is just suddenly kind of coming together in such a way where I'm at this point now where now I have this next question. But so I got a guy who he's in an unfortunate situation where, like, before his father passed away, his I guess some woman tried to kind of get in to his like inner circle and essentially like forged a will.
Hmm.
So there's like a fake will, and so instead of my potential client filed for a petition of uh, trust. So there's a trust involved in the property and all that. And so um, he's all the way in Kansas. I'm out here in LA, and he has to go fly back and forth. And so their next court date is in October to kind of like dispute this whole thing. It's like, he's pretty sure that this is going to go his way because
Yeah.
she just kind of came in the 11th hour. The guy, his poor father was like sick, and she pretended to take care of him and then forged this will and said that, she was the one that was going to inherit the home and assets and all that different kind of stuff. All that to say, he's not out here a lot. And like, like through the marketing material and everything that, I've done, I was just so shocked because I picked up the phone to call him on a follow up, and I said, like, oh hey, this is James. I don't know if you've been getting my stuff, and he just said, I know who you are, James, and I'm really glad you called. I was like, what?
Yeah. Nice.
And yeah, so I was just like, oh, this is amazing. So how do I offer myself as a service? Because obviously, through all the stuff that you've taught us, I've positioned myself correctly. So how do I follow through on this? Um, and I'm sorry, all that to say, like, I don't know if that late the scam forged will lady either has some people in there, or you know what I mean. Like the only thing that he would like because he's not around is kind of some boots on the ground, like eyes on the property, that kind of thing. So I went around. I don't know how much like legal right I have. Like, can I walk in there and you know what I mean, like take video or like you know what I mean? Like that's really
Mm.
like I need to stay in front of him and keep providing value up and
Hmm.
through October. Hopefully, some a good thing happens. I've already had a conversation with him about the property. He's like, "Man, my heart breaks about like how shoddy the place has gotten, but I can't I can't do anything with it. I just need to I need to sell it as soon as like
Yeah.
I have the legal right to." So I guess I hope you're.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. I just kind of rambled, but how
So
would you recommend kind of?
consider and he has a lawyer that's helping him with the get everything disputed, like deal with the dispute, or there's no lawyer involved.
So there's he has a good trusted attorney who's helping him with like that will thing, that
Yeah.
weird thing. But
Yep.
and this has happened. I don't know if this is just like a California thing or whatever, but like he has no idea about the probate process. I'm
Hmm.
like, I called you on a and so he had no idea about did you get your letters of administration? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't know if I'm just so new that but I've kind of come across this sometimes where like people who audition for trust or in a trust, like they have no idea that they're in probate, or they don't, anyway, like they just
Yeah.
kind of don't seem to understand that it's still, I
Okay.
think, in the probate process.
So I run into this periodically where I'll ask about probate and they go, no, 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 I've got a trust. I don't need probate. And
Yeah.
what we know is that something triggered a probate application and a probate process. There's normally assets that are not in the trust that triggered a probate petition. Okay. So probate was somehow triggered, but normally I don't go, hey, you're wrong, you have probate. Normally I'll say, hey, you know what? Sometimes trusts, especially if there's assets that are outside of the trust, can trigger probate. It doesn't mean you have to go through the whole probate process. It would probably be best if maybe we had a quick conversation with your lawyer and just make sure that I'm properly helping you the way that I am legally allowed to help you. say,
Mm,
normally in a case like this, I would go and I would kind of assist with taking care of, securing, and preserving the property.
mhm,
Okay. In a case where there's this dispute, you've got this bad actor who's forged a will. She may or may not be in the house. So first off, as I can drive by there, I can look and see what's going on with the property. If she is not there, then I would like maybe us to have a conversation with your attorney and make sure that by me going in there, I'm not going to hurt anything with the case.
mm.
Okay. Um, so I'd kind of want to hear that from the trust attorney, and I'm assuming the trust attorney is in California. Do you know?
Um, I'm pretty sure, and I'm so maybe I missed something, Chris, but like, he says he doesn't have any other attorney except for the one that's helping him with the. Oh,
Is,
is this the
is,
same person? The
is that
person
a
who's helping with
yeah,
the
yeah.
the whole forging will
Yep.
thing. Okay,
And that's a
yeah, yeah.
trust attorney, correct?
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
I would have a conversation with that attorney, and if not, if that attorney says, "Hey, I don't know, I have nothing to do with the house or anything," they'll probably be able to give you a pretty good legal answer. But if not, then this is gonna create an amazing excuse to call and forge relationships with a few other attorneys. You probably hate it when I tell you this because you'll ask questions. I want you to keep showing up and asking questions. My answer is really frequently going to be phenomenal excuse to call an attorney that you don't have a relationship right now and use it and that story to start to forge a little bit of a relationship.
Ah, I like that.
Okay. Now, this trust attorney is the first person that you need to go to since they're already involved in helping with the dispute. It's the first person you need to go to and just say, hey, you know what? My client wants, our proposed client would like some eyes on the house to kind of see what the conditions like, start to determine some value, but I don't want to get in trouble by going into a situation where someone else might be claiming ownership of the property.
Hmm.
Should I go there now, or should we really wait until the dispute is resolved? Now, if you guys determine that you're going to wait, you still need to go by the house. Maybe just not into the house. See what's going on. At least be able to give him a little bit of an idea of condition. Somebody's in there, somebody's not in there. The electric meter, if it looks empty, I'd go look at the electric meter to see if it's running.
Oh wow.
Try to determine if somebody might be in the property or not. And that's it's going to be an important thing for him to know.
I did that once. That kind of you know solidified my reputation with him even more. Where I
Hmm.
went and I did everything but go inside. There was like a mattress, like the door was swinging open on the side. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like it was basically vacant. And I showed
Oh,
him, and I
yeah,
did. But again, I was like, should I have gone all the way inside? Should I close the door for him? Should I have done more stuff? Just to kind of like shown that I'm like really invested in, but regardless, he was pretty much blown away. He's like, I appreciate you so
yeah.
much, my God. But
I
I
probably
want to,
would have, but that's me. That's not my legal opinion. Okay.
yeah,
I
right,
probably would have if it was me, but there's some risks to that as well. So you just have to kind of decide what you're comfortable with. And if it looks empty, I'm probably gonna poke around with his permission. I got his permission. There might be a dispute. We think it's forged, so he gave me permission. I'm probably gonna go in. I'm just gonna be
mm,
careful. I mean, if it looks empty and we know that there's someone else that's trying to take ownership, I'm just gonna be careful that there's nobody there. So
right. No
yeah,
squatter, druggie, like
yeah.
you know what I mean,
Hmm.
shooting up in the living room or something. But
Yeah.
okay. So if I'm hearing you right, then make this as an excuse to talk with the trust attorney,
Yeah.
but still, just keep going in and doing, providing the videos and the pictures to provide the value and just
Yeah.
lock up a deal, huh? So,
Yep. And I would go so far if it looks empty and if the trust attorney says that, hey, I think it's a good idea, I'd go so far as to maybe help line up some preservation for the property. So changing the locks, making sure the glass
right.
is cut some of that stuff to preserve the value. Because right now, it's if it's empty, it's doing nothing but decreasing in value.
Okay. So again, if it's legally okay, maybe just close the door, get a locksmith in there,
Sure.
like just
Yeah.
do the basics kind of
Yep.
stuff. Awesome. Thank you so much, Bruce, for that
Yeah,
clarity.
James. Good job, man. I'm glad you're putting things to practice. That's so good to hear.
Appreciate it so much.
Awesome. Hey, Randy, your hand was up, then down, then back up. What's what's going on?
Going in and out of banks and stuff like that. So I didn't want to get called on when I was in a branch.
Yeah.
So I got two things. One, to dovetail on what he was just asking and talking about, is when I go out to see a house that I'm pretty sure is vacant, I always get the owner to text me permission to go in. Hi, this is so and so. I'm giving Randy Thomason permission to go in. If the police or anybody have any questions, they can call me on this number, because I've been stopped twice by the police and thrown up against the wall and frisked. And I had a gun on me once because I got a permit, and they were cool once I showed them my permit and that I had permission on my phone. But I learned that the hard way the first time because I didn't have something written
Yeah.
and everything. So I would suggest getting that. That just kind of covers your butt. But then I have a question too. And I've been getting this a lot, like 60% of the probates I've been doing lately. I've had 4 in a row here this month that the heirs have lied to me, even after, and I was going to see how you are handling this to see if it seemed better than I am. That that the heirs are lying to me. It's almost always affidavit of heirship type deals, and there's no other siblings, dead or alive, so and so. And sure enough, there's a brother. I just yesterday did one brother. Oh, he's a crackhead. He's been on drugs. He lives on the street. We don't even know how to get a hold. The guy works for the military. He's a weapons. He carries. He has a dog that they sniff bombs and explosives out of cars and houses. Offices. He's not on drugs or anything like that. But I'm getting that 50-60% of the time where they're lying to me, and we got to go back and get it all cleared up and stuff like that. How are you handling that? Even though I'm telling them up front, the title company will find this out. They
Yeah.
they look at the obituary. They've got that find a grave deal. They look at the headstone. They do the research. They find it 99% of the time, and they still lie to you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I don't want to say this. Part of it's where you are. There's a
Are you
piece of
are you
it.
saying that we're rednecks here in Arkansas?
There's a piece of it that has a little bit to do with your location, but absolutely I've dealt with that. It might not be 4 in a single month, but I've
These are 4 in a
absolutely
row. 4 in
4
a
in a
row.
row. Yeah, I have. I've never had 4 in a row. I'll have one here and there. Last year I had a guy that said, hey, I'm managing this and I have 33% of the estate. My good for nothing brother-in-law and my good for nothing sister, they each have 30%, 33% of the estate. He said, and he was like, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. So what I want you to do is write me an offer for about half of the value, and then I want you to give me 50% ownership in the property that flips it so that I can make an extra piece of
Right.
money. So there are people that do some weird things. Um, so, the first thing I would do when I'm talking to them is go, hey, you know what? I've had a couple of situations where we got into a little bit of legal hot water as the deal went along. Nothing really bad, but where heirs popped up out of nowhere and started disputing, and we just need to make sure that we figure that out now. Do you have a copy of the will? And they may not have a will. So if they don't have a will, then this is how we proceed, and unless somebody else pops up, so no long lost brothers or anything like that. No long lost brothers. Okay. If anyone pops in during your notice of probate period, then we might have to revise the way that we're approaching this. So I would just go ahead and list or write your contract, whatever you're doing, with a really clear expectation that that if there's a will, you need to see it before you begin. If there's not a will, then you need to see their application, which you should be able to get access to quite easily through court records if they don't have a copy of it. And the application will tell you whether there's a will or not. So, and then that when they get into the notice of probate period, let them know that if there's anyone else that might think that they're entitled to a piece of this estate, they're probably going to pop up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm really upfront with them. I just say, listen, we've had this happen like 3 times in a row. Somebody says, well, a half brother's not really my brother, or somebody that's been kind of like exited out of the family because he's on drugs and we haven't had any contact with him. I said, still your brother. Doesn't matter. Or a half brother. You know, we have to know everybody because the title company will find it. And you're swearing under oath that you're the only heir. That could be fraud. You don't want to go to jail. So please tell us up front.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably say some of the same things that you're saying, but I'm gonna most likely approach it more from the standpoint of, and instead of "don't lie to me, tell me now." Instead of
Yeah,
that, I'm
well,
gonna approach it
I'm
from,
just kind of like making it quick and easy here.
yeah, I would probably approach it from the angle of, yeah, you'd be surprised how many people try to get involved in an estate. No other family members that are going to try to nose into this, are they? And I'll literally say that, and people will just open up. Oh yeah, my brother, he's going to try to nose into this. And if they think that they're tattling on someone, they'll usually tell you everything that you need to know.
Yep.
If
Yep.
they
All
think they're
right.
tattling versus if they think that there's a reason to hide that person, then they're probably going to continue to hide them. But if it's like, oh, no other family members that are going to try to butt into this, are they? Yeah, that there is. There's a cousin that's going to try to butt into it. So normally I make it give them an incentive to feel like they're tattling on a family member that to an ally.
Right.
Okay, and that'll
Yep.
bring the truth out most of the time.
All right. Appreciate it. Man, it's been frustrating lately. It's delayed closings, week, 2 weeks, because got to redo the contract.
Hmm.
You know, the affidavit of heirship. We've actually had affidavit of heirship saying there's only one surviving, or one member of the family, and it's like you do know that you got them to perjure themselves.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and I
yeah.
had to go redo it. And the title company wouldn't take the affidavit from the same people. We had to get different people because they lied once.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I've run into that a handful of times. Never as many times as that, but but yeah,
I guess the times are getting harder. People are getting more desperate. So,
yeah, and I mean, there's weird family dynamics. People don't get along. I like to say that when things like this happen, you're in the middle of a wave set. So you guys go to the ocean, and there will be like a wave set of 7 big waves, and then it'll be really calm for a while. And so that's the same way. There have been times when I'm like, hey, I guess everything I'm doing now is from this bank, or I guess all my deals are in this city, or I guess this is just my new price point now, or a new style of house, and it'll be like 4 deals or 5 deals that stack together that are all identical, and then I won't see that kind of deal. So I would imagine, Randy, you're probably in a wave set where you're dealing with some shady heirs that probably will go away soon.
over.
What's
Yeah.
that, Randy?
Yeah. I said, I'm ready for the waves to end.
Yeah,
Just makes more paperwork.
it'll probably go away real soon, and then you won't deal with this for a while until the next time you get 4 in a row. So
Yeah. Well, 4 within 2 weeks is too much.